At the Clay Studio, we were both looking at language and interaction and the transaction with the audience. We have all the greatest intentions in the world to provide great programs and interesting brochures, but the research was telling us and the focus groups were telling us, you set up your own barriers here. It's time for you got to be flexible to fix those things.
Yeah, I think along with that, what we found in the research was really, the barrier was a barrier of perception. Again, between the name, and actually that did come up in the research. People did talk about multiple entrances, so they literally couldn't figure out how to get into the building. Like they didn't know which door they should literally which door they should walk through. But I also think there was a perception that this place was for other kinds of people, not me. And that actually was across race and ethnic group. It was really a class distinction that people were perceiving. Like this is for those kinds of people, and I'm a working class kind of person, so I don't actually fit into this world. And it was really helpful to have the research team and Bob Harlow really talk to us about that is actually the slowest moving needle and the hardest needle to move, right? It's like a first impression.
And it's almost a mirror. I mean, it tells you, look at yourself, look at your entryway, look at your materials, look at your language, look at your own self. That's a tough mirror to see sometimes. You don't recognize what you thought was out in the community.
Because I think institutions tend to think of themselves that way, as institutions, as opposed to you're actually an entity with a personality. And people will perceive that personality in different ways. Right? But you do have a way of being, you have a personality and you have a culture, and so people are looking at that and making decisions based on that, and I think I agree, that's the mirror that gets held up to you and you're like, oh.
And the perception,
We didn't know we were doing that.
We didn't know our personality was, of course it's that door.
Exactly.
That's the door you walk in, and that's not very inviting to say, we know, why don't you know? Yeah.
Exactly, right? We're a small institution, like the Clay Studio, so a student could bump into any of us. Right, in the hallway, and one bad interaction could undo all the work that you've been striving to do. And so it was really important for us to understand that it was the entire staff that was going to make or break this effort, and therefore the entire staff and the board that sort of had to come along for that ride and understand why it was important.